start recording. So we're going to go to the 10 degree. It's still about the same. You see it counts about 9, 10, 6. It's changing, right? It depends on the location. So that's it's quite similar, right? Then we can stop. We can go further. We can do 20 degree setting to see how much count we got. And we get to 20. We do 20. But now it's 15. 20. Go to 20. Go to 20. Okay. We go 20. We open the view. Move them to the center. And then we can just start. We can park a bin here. It's about 10,000 counts, right? It's scanning location. If you scan the vacuum region, you might get less counts because we have vacuum region here. So it's about the same. 10,000. When you reach the vacuum region, you don't have samples, so your count's getting low.
So I think so you could turn off 2 of the detectors, right? Because there's 4 of them.
Yes, you can do so.
Because I think we only have one detector on ours. Because the other side we have the
You can
cryo
deselect.
box. Because we have a cryo box on one side, and then we have the retractable Oxford.
Okay, you can just deselect. You say you click there, you deselect the detector. So let's turn off these 2. Then we have these 2 on.
Yeah, and then the positions of the detector may make more sense, and then they may affect the signal, right?
Yes. Then you see you have detector on the left on, the right 2 is off, right?
Yeah.
So, and then you see how much count you get on the left 2. You got about total counts. It's still got a lot of counts. The count's getting a little bit lower. Because
I see the one side's about between 3 and 6, and the other side's 30.
Yes. So
I guess we're tilting toward 2 and 3.
Yeah, we're turning to 2 or 3 because right now the 2 or 3 get a lot of counts, right?
Yeah, and then normally with if there's no tilt, it'd be at 10 or what?
Normally for super apps, we don't need to tilt.
Yeah.
So we can tilt it back. We can tilt it back to see how it looks like. We can tilt it back to 0. Because right now, because we're tilting on this side, we're getting more counts from that side. And then we can do, okay. Let's zoom in a little bit. Let's just zoom into the sample. So we don't have vacuum region. Go to the silicon only. Okay. Okay. Stop that. Go here. So and now you say you get there. We're tilting at 0. We got almost 5,000 for the detector 1 and 4, and now 8,000 intending.
Other detectors, is those just random counts because they're off?
Yeah, they're off. This is random counts.
So those counts don't count, right?
Yeah, so we can try that. We can stop and then we select these two, deselect these two, and we can just start view. Yeah, this is just random count, right? So in this case, we get a net signal. We just get a on the 1,000 count to the detector of 2 and 3. It depends on, because this is based on the copper gray. So it depends on which size you put, because copper gray had a kind of finger. We put a sample on the top or bottom, close to the top or close to the bottom. So you might get some certainty effect here. So to the detector of 2 and 3 because of that. So part of the signal is shattered by the copper gray, I think. So we can do tilt a little bit to see if we can enhance the count to the detector 3 and 2. So we can stop that. And I think this actually just do an acquisition. Do it like spectrum acquisition, but don't do mapping. So let's tilt to the negative. Trendy. Okay, we can do a live view of a spectrum, the park spot here. So this is a live view getting more. So as you can tell, when we tilt back to the negative 20, we got a similar count compared to 0. Compared to 0-degree tilt. Right? So we can go tilting, can do more tilting, we tilt back to 0, see how much counts. It's got a bit, so whatever reach you see, from negative 20 and tilt back to the 10.
Yeah.
It can't stay same. That means that the signal to these two detectors was shattered by the copper gray. So I think detector 1 and 4 get more signal.
Yeah.
You can stop that and select all 4. And then you can do you see 1 and 4 get more signal. This is a silicon sample, so many get silicon. Check that 0. Okay. Yeah, you can do. So sometimes you don't want to do mapping. You can just do a application on certain point. You can set up the exposure time, spectrum range. If you want to do 40, you can do 40, 60, 40, and you can do. Then you have more range. So it's good to check. So before you do mapping, it's good to check your spectrum first. You can pick your spot anywhere in the region of interest, and check the spectrum, how spectrum look like. And then you can, if some spectrum, some element we might need to use the large energy range to identify that. So the highest energy range we can choose is 80. So, but if you choose 80, we lose the energy resolution. So 80. You can also acquire spectrum. You can choose exposure time. You can acquire spectrum from that. You can keep. And then once you feel you get a good signal, enough signal, you can stop acquisition. And this spectrum gonna save that. You can go data processing. This is a spectrum we just took. So let's delete this data. We got a lot of I want the data. You can delete a single file, or you can select delete a select file. It's going to delete all the file at once. Okay. So yeah, this is you can what else? We can test the resolution, the energy range effect on the mapping. So let's do this. We can close the spectrum view and go to region of interest. And also another useful thing I can show you later. Let's first do this. So let's see how energy range affect the mapping. So push this into focus. Normal length, and at the same time, I'm going to go to the this into focus. Activation. Okay, let's select one of the let's do this map. So we can do compressing. 195 is their magic number. Okay. Go here. Go here. You can double click anywhere. You can double click here to center the filter. You just double click. Usually it's not, especially when you go to high magnification, it's not accurate. And we just give it a refreshing time. Okay. So we find a regional interest. We do limit astigmatism. Okay. So you can also adjust the contrast a little bit. Star mapping, auto stop, some setting. We use the largest range, 80 kV. In this case, we can see, because we are interested in identify their this layer. So in this case, you see we get the more energy range, but the resolution may be getting lower, and picture background ratio the text section. Maybe getting washer. Let's select this 3 by 3. They will move to the region of interest. Okay. So just now for the ball size 6, we got fitting angle below 10, we got about 8. So let's see what we can get now by choosing different energy sphere. So I guess this case we can get the most quantification result because we choose the large energy range. We get a range, but we lose the accuracy. So we sacrifice some accuracy. So let's see. Titanium, nitrogen. At the same time, let me upload the radio for you. Let's go here. Okay, just downloads. Okay. T7, 8, 9. Okay, let's upload off then. Okay, so it's you see they're fitting angle together. I think it's down. Oh, still running. Okay. Okay. Okay, I think it's almost done. So just now we get the fitting angle like critical value here is about 10%. It's a little bit worse than we use when we use the smaller energy sphere. Okay. Oh, it's getting better actually. Okay. I would say that everything is a little bit worse. Unless it's similar, but say, because for this one, you say you don't have actual peak from 40 to 80, right? So there's no need to use that high energy range. Okay. Okay, so when you do quantification, it's always good to because you know copper is system peak. We can use we can just select the convolution only, and then we can approach this to the SI. It takes some time to processing the data. Okay. Time percentage. Okay. Never mind, it's gonna take time to get it back. Okay. I think we lost software getting busy, so we need to wait a little bit. This sometimes happens when you get a lot of data. Yeah, quite a lot of EDS data. It's gonna take your system memory, make our system getting busy. So especially when you do a lot of quantification, it take a lot of memory to do calculation of the quantification. So it might be too busy to update immediately. It might need to take some time. Let's wait a little bit. So this is a good feature. Once you hold over your mouse to somewhere, it's gonna give you a remind. It's gonna just give you some notes. For example, here it tells you what is a subinstruction. It tells you, so you can read the instruction and it give you a better idea what it is. So think it's getting very slow. We might need to close it. Bring it back. So I think it's closed. unsafe. So it's going to close. And usually we wait a little bit. And once it's good, we just open again. Okay, so be back. So yeah, because we took some data, it took the memory. Simply you just close, reopen it, you're gonna solve that issue. Okay, this is how we how energy range affect the quality. So we just go 20. It's most used energy dispersion, and so shaping time. We can try high through high resolution, but this when you have very low counts, especially I think if you can read that, if you put most here, you can read the shaping time and shipping time. For high resolution, it's used 10 microsecond. Recommended for use as a low count rate. It achieves the high energy resolution. So if you want to identify some peak which might overlap with other, so you might want to achieve the highest resolution. So in that case, you can use high resolution mode. And also it's got a high throughput mode. It's optimized for high count. But the resolution spectra will be lower. So the resolution of the EDS is about 1K or 1 EV. So when you choose the high resolution, you might reach this resolution. But if you choose the high throughput, your resolution may be like 2 EV or even more, sir. Several EV maybe. So and also you can choose optimize. I always choose optimize. Give you a small like a 3 microsecond shipping time. So and also you can resort to default. It's gonna reset your exposure time. So usually choose 5 to 10 seconds. So you can choose 10 seconds here as well. It's to give you more exposure. You get more count, and this exposure usually you can define it's whether include the real time or just include the total time. The real time or real time. So you can select exposure time here as well for acquisition. This is for preview. This is for spectrum acquisition. If you put mouse here, it's gonna give you section. Real time is acquisition is as indicated. So real time is the real time to because this read time, that time, real time, lifetime. So lifetime including the real time and that time. So if you choose the real time, that means your exposure time is the processing time. It's not going to include that time. If you choose lifetime, your exposure time including that time and lifetime. Oh, that time and real time. So including the time the detector is processing the X-ray and the time detector do not processing the data. So research is real time. You can resort to defaults. So you can choose different. This is the highest exposure time, give you more, give you better spectrum. Okay. So also you can choose you can take a look at the exposure time effect. So if you have if you have sometimes if you sample get a lot of drifting, you might want to use the smaller dwell time. The smaller dwell time can go 2 microseconds. So I will show you how it looks like. So it's let's take an imaging. It's gonna refresh very fast, 2 microseconds. So in this case, you have a higher refresh rate, and your let's load the second device. So you have a very high refresh rate for it took us less than time and to get one frame down. So, but the signal to noise ratio of the one frame of the each frame is poor because your dwell time is shorter. It's just 2 seconds. But the advantage of your shorter dwell time is give you more time to do. Give you more. In this case, you can within the certain time, you are doing more cross correlation diffraction because you have higher frame time and you have a higher refresh rate, and you're doing more diffraction. But your EDS mapping signal to you get less signal to your EDS mapping within the same time, same amount of time because you're doing more diffraction. So let's set up an experiment. We can do. Let's stop that. Let's do one channel try, delete that because I want to do on the same region, just zoom into that region. We got a 195 view, get a view, and go there, and then we take image. We set up dwell time is we do auto stop. With auto stop, we go for maybe how many frames we have. So we got a lot. We can have, but in this case we have more frame. We can do more frame. Within certain set. Let's do 600. You see, the each frame is only take 0.63 seconds. So in this case, we can do more frame. So let's do 300 frames. Okay, and then we can. You see, it's refreshed much faster. You can even tell it's refreshing. You can't even tell it's refreshing because it's refreshed very fast. In this case, if you sample, I'm gonna move the stage. You say I'm moving stage, but it doesn't change because we are doing diffraction. Even I move the stage because we have higher. You see, see here. I'm use your stage to move stage, but the diffraction gonna move it back because we have very high reflection rate, and we just diffraction moves pretty well. Even I used to manually move stage, the diffraction is gonna move with the back. That's a good function for correct diffraction, but at the same time you get less signal to EDS detector, and then you can take the detector layout here. Let's say so. You say you can do a little bit filtering. But you can define behavior. So 3. Left. Can view, expand and lock. As you can tell, you cannot do the quantification because it comes below. You need to manage stuff like that. Okay. Got a lot of rotating arrow here for the titanium. So, because your dwell time it's too small. Okay. Status. Getting. We're gonna stop at 5 minutes, 6 minutes, right? So we're gonna maybe stop when it's reached 6 minutes. So whenever you finish application, all the parameters gonna stop. Scope if it's in the spectrum, or it's in the mapping, so you can just right click on anywhere and just say property. It's gonna tell you whatever parameter we're using. You see, as you can tell right now, we're using the 2 microsecond dwell time, and receiving time is 3 microseconds. And also, image size factor by factor, you can get all of the information. Okay. So we still get a lot of peaking arrow. That means the atom arrow, percentage arrow is also high. So, by the way, you see, we got a very strong drift correction. So, it's because over frame time it's about 0.63 seconds. So every 3.36 seconds we do a drift correction. All right. I think we reach 6 million, and we can stop it. So when you click stop, you see it stops immediately, because usually if you choose higher develop time, it's gonna fraction a little bit and then stop. Because when you click stop, it will not stop until it's finished the last scan. So because right now we are using very small dwell time. We have very fast frame refresh rate. So when you click stop, it just stop immediately because it's very fast. It just take a 0.63 seconds to finish the last frame. Okay. Then we can say we have just now with 40 microsecond dwell time within 3x3 pixel area. We have the freaking error is below 10%, but right now we get it all like 54% freaking error. So that means where spectrum, the signal is too poor for fading the peak for the quantification. Okay. What else? So then we can increase their dwell time. We can do 20. This is a 10 times more. So we can just dwell time 20. We can do also 6 minutes. Maybe. So same situation, but we increase the dwell time 10 times. And last, we can try use the largest dwell time, increase time 100 times to 200 microseconds. So if you take a look at the frame time, it's about 6.3 seconds for finish one frame. It's meaning every 6.3 seconds you do a drift correction. So if you sample drift a lot, if you sample drift within 6.3 seconds, then you might have a problem to bring it back. Because you are not doing drifting within the 6.3 section. So but now we don't have drift. Let's say I manually move the stage, and then it's gonna bring it back, right? But it's gonna bring. If I move now, it's gonna take up to 6.3 seconds to bring it back. But just now, if you have 2 microsecond dwell time, the frame time is 0.36 seconds. If I move now, it's only take 0.3 up to 0.63 seconds to bring it back. So I can move again to the right, and then you say it's take right now it's back. It's probably for now it take about 3 seconds. It depends on because it's scanning. It depends on at which point you move it. If you move now, it can't bring back immediately. Because every 6.3 seconds, it's do a drift correction. So if you move when it's on the top, then right now it's 1, 2, 3, probably 3 seconds to bring back. So if we wait until on the top, you move, it take up to 6.3, it's still not move. It's not even correctly. So it's take up to 6 seconds to bring it back. So that's the effect of the dwell time on drift correction. But you get more signal to your detector within same time. Because you're for each pixel. So that's a benefit for use longer dwell time. Now 3 seconds, 3 minutes, we can do 0 pixel here. 3x3. Let's do 3. 3x3, and then let's move that. Very interesting in titanium. You see, the fitting error is getting much improved. Just now we got almost like 30 or 50. I forgot, maybe 30, over 30. Right now, only it's well below 15. So right now it's almost finished. Okay. All right. It's finished. You see, if fitting error is getting improved. That means you get more accurate quantification result. So the next we can try highest real time. We can try the highest is 500 microseconds. We're gonna try 200 microseconds. Let's click view. Because I moved the stage, so it's once it's done, it's moved. You find the stage move a lot because I just now in memory move stage to test whether the function working on how it will. So and then we can take image, get another 200 microseconds. So you see how slow the scan is going, but for each frame, it's got a lot of signal. So we're able to tell some difference by just doing one scan. So let's select here. Let's see the fitting error for the titanium. So now this is just one scan. Fitting error is you see the fitting, this is just one scan. Titanium function. So it's gonna take a minute to finish one frame. So if you do a 5 minute or 6 minute scan, we're gonna only have 5 to 6 frames, right? Because if right now, if you move the stage, if the stage moves a little bit, it's gonna take up to a minute to bring it back. Because every minute is gonna do our drift correction. So it's really kind of a balance when you choose different dwell time, if you have a lot of drifting in sample, you might want to choose the little bit lower scanning dwell time. If you want to have more signal to do quantification, you probably want to choose the longer dwell time for each pixel.
Is it drift corrected even if you do one frame?
Say again?
So when you're doing drift correction,
Mm-hmm.
or for the cross correlation, one frame it's still fixed, or you need more than one frame?
It's just doing the one frame.
Okay.
It's you know, so after scanning finish the one frame, and then after, so it's gonna, for example, it's gonna get a reference image first, right? And then every minute, because right now our dwell time is 300 microseconds, it's gonna take a minute to get a frame down. So once you get a one frame down, it's gonna compare this one frame image with the reference. If we say it drifts a lot, it's gonna move it back. So it's not.
Okay.
It's not like, I know. It's not. It do drift correction every frame. It's not every line. And now some software can do drift correction line by line. If this the upper line drift, lower line drift, and then for example, if not upper line drift, a lower one, you may bring it back when you do the next scan on the next line. So this is doing drift correction frame by frame.
Okay, I get it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, it's we're finished 5 frame. You see. Right now, if I move stage, let me for example, I move to the right. It's gonna, because it's hard to tell. So it's just scanning here. Okay, let's take a look at the fitting arrow. Say fitting arrow, it's allows about 11%. Some region in which. So it seems the fitting arrow is not as good as 40 microseconds. Because 40 microseconds we get about well below 10%. I think it's because we're doing dwell time. We have very long dwell time. It's my okay. Yeah, it just depends on location. Some location it's very similar. So it's very similar to the scale liquidity proof. It's below 10% compared to 40 microseconds. So, but if you want to choose very longer dwell time, make sure you don't have any drift. You have very minimum drifting during the scanning, because your drift function doesn't work well in this case. Okay. Well. Okay. So this is how dwell time affect your drift function, and also their quantification results. So it's going to take a long time to finish the last frame. So yeah, that's pretty much how we do EDF, EDS application and quantification under by using the lower magnification. Okay. Take a look at the results, compare the results. The results we have. So this is the 200 microsecond, the fitting error less than 8%. This is 20. This is about 12%. This is 2 microsecond, we got a 54% fitting error. So, and the data looks very noisy. So we can also do a line scan across there to see how it looks like. So see line scan, the line looks okay, because now I don't increase the width of the line to add more signal in. So this you can do here, you can do 9.5 here. You see this is a little bit more noise. Put the mask in here. Yeah, this is noise, so noise. You cannot identify the thickness of the titanium nitrogen valve. Okay. Okay. So, any question?
No questions.
Okay. Cool. Okay. If no question, I'm gonna wrap up because that's pretty much I can show you how we do EDS quantification, EDF application. So today we go through the EDF. We go through review the EDF concepts and how we do EDF visualization and quantification. And then also I did live demonstration on how we acquire EDS data at different magnification. So at a higher magnification, we might want to use small current. We change the current from 100 pga to 200 pga. We get a nice atomic resolution EDS mapping under Johnson titanium. And this afternoon, I show you how some EDS mapping on silicon device, and we vary the beam current by 10 to different either ground length or spot size. We compare them and to see the difference. We found that when we have a large beam current, definitely we get a better quantification results. We have less fitting error. And also, but we're gonna induce more damage to your sample. So just be careful if you have very beam sensitive sample. Pay attention to the beam current. And finally, we compare the end-range effects on the mapping. And then also we talk about the receiving time, and we talk about the dwell time effect on their diffraction, and also their map quality. So yeah, let's take a look at the agenda. This is It's a day 3. It's the last day of this training section for the STEM and EDS. So we finished that, and the object here for today is to understand how to set up microscopy for optimized EDS analysis, be able to do EDX line scan and trace mapping. So in Velox, we don't have the ability to do mass scan because we have ED SuperX. You can finish mapping within 5 minutes, so there's no need to do mass scan. We can just do fast mapping and then extract line profile from mapping. Also, I introduced you how to read our software for visualization and quantification. So you're still able to do that. So any question about the object?
No.
Okay. So this is all of it. So we finished day 2, day 1, day 2, day 3. And day 1 we review operation for low max stand, TM, high resolution TM. So we're going to talk a little more about the diffraction imaging, the HRTM imaging, and also low dose imaging, all the stuff in the diffraction section. So but this section mainly focuses on stand imaging. So second day we did more high resolution stand imaging and review HR stand vision with radar software. And third day we did EDS acquisition. So let me stop the recording. Okay, so